you that our mission statement is on the very front of the program, and let's affirm that together. We are
Are
a loving, spiritual community that honors your presence, nurtures your joyful self-expression, and empowers your spiritual growth. Do you believe that? And like every day, if we wake up in that, today my talk is on keeping the faith. And what it's about is that very thing, that affirmation. So let's read our affirmation. It's on the left-hand side of your page. Pardon me. Today I walk in the light of God's love. Today I am guided and my guidance is multiplied. I know exactly what to do and exactly how to do it. There is an inspiration within me that governs every act, every thought, in certainty, with conviction and peace. I let God's light shine through me as me right now. And so it is. And so with that, we are going to have our opening song. You're going to stand and get your juices flowing, and we're going to sing God in Everything. I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see reflection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God in everything. Yay! Thank you, Michelle. All righty. That's a good way to wake up in the morning, isn't it? Singing that song. We have a couple things going on, and remember that we're still in our 64 days of nonviolence, and today the word is mastery. Labor organizer Cesar Chavez teaches that if you use violence, you have to sell part of yourself for that violence. Then you are no longer a master of your own struggle. Breathe deeply, silently counting backwards from 10 to calm yourself, to cool off before you speak or act with impatience or anger. Do this at least once a day. You don't have to do that if you're not angry all the time, but I guess you do it once a day if you want to calm yourself down. So we have a lot of announcements, fun things. Founders Center is doing a tour, and they're going to have from 10 to 12 next Monday. They're going to have a guided tour, and they're going to have light refreshments. I'm going to use this as the sign-up sheet. So far, we've got Rita, I know, wants to come, and Lainey's coming. But if you'll just sign up and let me know, I have to let them know by Monday how many we're bringing so that they have enough food for all of us. But just so you know, it says, come together as a spiritual family to learn more about the history of the house that Ernest built, now nationally recognized as a historic location. It's really a cool place. The neighborhood is changing. Let's just leave it at that. But it's you know, they're making some new headway. The minister used to be Dr. Arthur Chang, and he has retired, and there's a new fella that's fantastic. And so we're going to meet him, and we're going to go on a tour. We're going to see the very pulpits from which Ernest spoke, and you know, his office, and Dr. Hornaday, his office, and even the area. I don't know if I've ever given you the example of the tree that he healed. When there was a tree that they were going to remove, and Ernest said, absolutely not, we're not removing that tree. And he went and he spoke to it. Well, now they've since transplanted those trees, but we'll see the very courtyard where he spoke that. So there we go, and we'll have this over next door, over by food, or if you want to sign up right after service. But we're going to do like a carpool so that not everybody has to drive. So there's that. Another thing, we're going to talk about it at our core council meeting on Tuesday, but I want to have a movie night. Anybody up for a movie night? I see 1, 2 hands. Oh my goodness. I have, wow, popcorn, all kinds of fun stuff. But I have the movie What the Bleep, and I thought we'd start with that. Anybody seen the movie What the Bleep? I saw that like 100 years ago. And a friend of mine said, oh my gosh, you got to watch it again. It's so much more enlightening. I go, it is? So I thought that might be fun. We'll probably do it right here. We've got a projector screen, and we'll do it in here, and we can have popcorn or whatever. We'll figure out something. I'm not sure if we're going to have it here or in the hall, whichever more comfortable for all of us, but it might be fun to do that. I just thought that'd be a fun thing. We have other fun things coming up. And also, if you have ideas of something that you would like to see happening here, friends of mine at another center, they started a book reading. And now that thing has grown to 30 people, and they read a book. They're reading new spiritually minded books, not like Gone with the Wind or anything. They're reading beautiful spiritual books and then having discussion after it. So I'm thinking about doing a book reading, which might be kind of neat. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be coming down the pike, and then some other things as well. So just letting you know that movie night is probably coming in April. I know Easter is early this year, so we'll probably do it after Easter. And just to let you know, we have a choir going on. How many are in the choir? Yay! We've got a cool choir thing going on. Thanks to Michelle Gillette and to Kathy, our pianist, for that. And their first and fabulous performance is going to be on Easter Sunday, and they're going to sing 3 songs. They're going to be ready as ever, and we are going to be entertained as ever. And they're having a lot of fun. I don't think, are you accepting new people at this point? Not at this point. But after Easter, they'll start on a new series of songs, and then you can join then. So there you go there. Let's see here. Ongoing events. Yes, on Wednesdays, our practitioner, Susan Zollinger, hosts a Zoom call that discusses articles from the Science of Mind magazine. So you can join that. She will, if you contact her, she will give you the Zoom link. And if you get the newsletter, did everybody get the newsletter? Mm-hmm. Okay, so on the newsletter, it gives the Zoom, I think it gives the Zoom information, I'm pretty sure. If it doesn't, you can call me or call her, and we'll get you the Zoom information.
It's really good.
It's really good,
really
she
good
says.
Because, she reads the things and then we get to discuss them and everything, so we really have a good time. And it's a great idea in the middle of the week, just to sit in your house with a cup of tea.
Right, and discuss. It goes from 6:30 to 7:30. But again, remembering that we're also going to have probably a book reading. We're going to share book reading. Anybody interested in the book reading? I see a couple hands, because I'll tell you, oh my goodness, I just blanked on it. I just blanked on the book we finished reading. I joined via Zoom because it's in Redondo Beach. But I'll tell you, it is so inspiring to hear other people's thoughts. And then the more you steep yourself in this teaching and practice, etc., it really imprints on your mind. So there you go with that. So let me think here. We've got today, we're going to have sort of a potluck. We've got a mishmash of things. And somebody needs to get that little bird a membership form, because he just really wants to get in here. I just love it. I come every week, I bless the sanctuary and do stuff, and he's there every day. We have a new thing. We have a Roomba. I think I'm going to name her Ruby, but at this point I was a little ticked off at her because I flunked Ruby 101 because I couldn't get her to connect with the Wi-Fi via our iPad. So we'll see what happens. But Ruby will be vacuuming the sanctuary every week. So she was good. She did this whole area, and then she stopped and she was saying something, and I'm like, oh, I missed what she said. So she does talk. Hopefully she won't be giving a Sunday lecture anytime soon, but at any rate, she's very fun. So we've got that new thing, and that's great fun. And we've got this new, thanks to Hazel, we have this new microphone that goes through the house. Ta-da! Imagine, we're getting more and more sophisticated with our sound. It's pretty exciting. So let's see here. Another thing, it's a reminder that at 9 o'clock on Sundays, we study the Science of Mind book, and we discuss it, and it's really fabulous. I'm sure Sandra did a fabulous job. How many were there for the science? Oh, yeah, it's great fun to discuss these ideas because that's the way you get them. You know, you can read things. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have to read things a couple times in order for it to sink in. But when you're discussing it, it kind of, you begin to apply it to everything that's going on in your life, and it makes it more fun. And also, and then after that, we have a meditation. And then after that, of course, we have food every time. And I want to thank all of the volunteers, which is basically everybody in this room. So give yourself a big applause because everybody here is a volunteer, right? So that's right. All right, with that, we are going to have our meditative song, and so it is. God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. Amen. 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 And now it's you, my dear. Okay.
Fooling around with my microphone. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sandra Shields, your practitioner on duty today. And we are just going to start with a invocation and then do a reading. So if you'll just settle back in your chair and think into your feet so that you're fully present. And just know right here and now that we are concentrating on keeping the faith despite any appearances. And what that really means is keeping our connection always with that one divine life, that expression of good within each and every one of us, God being us right here and now. And we know and accept and claim that we can never be separated from this one divine life. That all the faith that is in God is always right where we are. And so as we focus on this center of faith, knowing that we can cast out any ideas, any fears, any situations that no longer serve us, that we can know divine right action, deep peace of mind, perfect health, right relationship, right employment, in each and every situation, that we are fully connected, fully present, and that is the source of our faith. And with this connection, we are so deeply grateful, and we release this invocation and this prayer, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is.
So, as you might suspect, there is just tons of stuff about faith in the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes, many, an embarrassment of riches to choose from. I chose a passage on page 39, The Way It Works, Ernest Holmes' book, good only, not good and evil. And Ernest Holmes talks a lot about thinking holistically about things and thinking in an unlimited way. The gardener goes forth in faith to sow his seeds. He has learned that as he sows, so shall he reap, that the law works for all alike. We must accustom ourselves to the concept of the impersonalness of the law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. If we can conceive only a little good, that is as much as we can experience. We must instill into our mind the fundamental proposition that good is without bounds. Only good and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life. Psalms 23. We must get this concept rather than continuing to think that there is a power of evil as opposed to the power of good. We experience good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. Then, knowing that the thing can work for us only through us, let us begin to accept today more good than we experienced yesterday, and to know that we must reap a harvest of fulfilled desires. The time must come when we shall have left the apparent evil behind, when it shall be rolled up like a scroll and numbered with the things which we once thought to be. Let us realize and work with this sound knowledge and perfect faith that as high as we can make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall it be its outward manifestation in our material world. And so it is.
And now we have our guest artist, Michelle Gillette.
Ooh, I think I'm coming down here.
Well, I have been thinking about this song. It's called I Send My Love. And I just love the idea, especially today in this world, of sending love out because we know that love is the answer.
There you go. So today, my talk title is Keeping the Faith. This is an interesting time in the world, isn't it, about keeping our faith? I found this thing came up during the week. I tried to find a clearer picture, but it says, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, and it's Superman. But I didn't know that was his motto. And so when you do a Google on that, it says this was the model. It says, and that the other part of that quote is, and trust comes after. I thought, well, there you go. Who knew that while we were watching Superman as kids, that's what was going on? So I'm going to read this prayer. It's attributed to St. Patrick because it is about to be St. Patrick's Day. I arise today with God's strength to pilot me, God's might to hold me, God's wisdom to guide me, God's eye to look ahead for me, God's ear to hear me, God's word to speak for me, God's hand to defend me, God's way to lie before me, God's shield to protect me, and God's host to safeguard me. When you start the day with saying things that are affirmative and positive and setting the tone for everything, what happens? It does set the tone for the whole day, and it starts that frequency, that energy. Remember, all of our thoughts, all of our words, they're all frequencies. They're all energy that we're putting out every day. And so we need to, declare it in the moment we wake up, the moment we open our eyes. Sometimes I wake up and my alarms go off. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh, stop the groaning. You're happy. It's another day. You're awake. You're alive. So with St. Patrick's Day 2 days away, I thought I'd share that. Do you know why you wear green on St. Patrick's Day? This is in the folklore. It says, wearing green makes you invisible to the leprechauns. And I'm like, well, who knew? Whoa, I knew that. But there is a little joke, and it says, let's see, what can you expect when you have conversation with a leprechaun? It's a lot of small talk. It's a lot of small talk. There's another one coming. So in honor of that, I must start out with a wee little joke. Why is it not a good idea to iron your shamrock? Because you don't want to press your luck. Oh. There you go. There's another one coming later in the talk. I will warn you ahead of time. People go, God, those are so corny. Yes, they are. I can hear my father, my uncles, and my cousins, everybody telling these jokes. I can hear them. So keep the faith. What does that term actually mean? What does it mean to keep the faith? It means to maintain trust and hope, even during difficult times. It means to persevere no matter what conditions out there are telling us. We say, you know what, I'm going to stay in faith, and I'm going to believe in something that's other than what I'm witnessing right now. Has anybody ever done that? You may see outer pictures of things that don't look so hotsy-totsy, but the deal is when you get into the energy of saying, I'm going to believe the way I want to see it, the way I trust that it's happening, and what am I doing? I am declaring what? Not from my human self, but from my God self. Because this teaching reminds us we're all one with that power, with that presence. We are the very essence of God expressing. How about looking at your neighbor and say, you are the essence God expressing. All right. Did you believe your neighbor? Because sometimes we don't believe what we say to ourselves, but we do believe what others tell us, right? Because think about it. A lot of times what we wind up believing, how does it start? It starts with a thought, you'll hear something, and then you got a feeling about it, and then you start repeating it, and then all of a sudden it becomes a belief ingrained in you. Think about some of the things that you do in your life that have been ingrained in your life, but you sometimes if you trace them back, you go, I don't know why I believe that. Now we know we've heard those old superstitions like step on a crack and break your mother's back. It's like, good Lord, who thought so? Everybody, when we were kids, it's like, I don't want to break my mom's back. I don't want to step on, break a mirror and you've got bad luck, or a cat walks in front of you, all that kind of stuff. Think about people with black cats. I have a friend that has two. It's like, good, if the black cats cross on her path all day long, just think of all the bad luck she's going to get, right? If you believe that. And we think we don't believe those things, but sometimes it's very important to review, what is it that I believe? What is it that I believe? Examine your life and say, where is it that I have this foundation of thought? In Hebrews, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Isn't that the heart and soul of everything? It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's believing it before you see it. Because remember, our famous Wayne Dyer always said, if you believe it, you will see it. But we're always kind of taught backwards. It's like, when I see it, then I'll believe it. No, you have to believe it first. That's what this teaching reminds us. Ernest Holmes said, he defined faith as a mental attitude and a conscious conviction that engages an invisible spiritual law to create a positive change, not a negative change. But guess what? Can our thoughts create a negative change? Sure they can. If you think awful thoughts, if you awfulize about things and worry about things, oh my gosh, what could happen in a negative way, what happens? You bring about that very thing because you've manifested it because of your magnetic energy that you have put out there. So it's important to pay attention to what you're paying attention to. What instruction are you giving the universe every day? He viewed it as a proactive, creative force, though. It's not like, oh, things happen to me. It's not a passive thing. It's creative. We are acting with the power that's in us. We align human thought with the divine to produce a tangible result. You'll often hear his statement, there's a power for good in the universe. It's greater than you are, and you can use it. Do you believe that? There's a power for good in the universe, and it's available to everybody, and you can use it. But sometimes we forget, don't we? Sometimes we feel like we are the victims of whatever circumstance is going on out there and that we cannot control it. That's why it's so important. We don't go to God with our problems. We go to our problems with God. Feel the difference? Go to your problems with God. You've got something going on, guess what? You are going to declare absolutely, is there anything too great for God? Is there anything bigger than God or more powerful? No. So what you do is you go to that circumstance and you say, I am knowing right here and now that God is in this and God is figuring out a way. I don't have to know anything other than know that truth. And when I get in that energy field, everything shifts. I've told this story before, and this is certainly not in my notes, but it's just coming up in my head. So there's a man that is fishing on the bank, on the riverbank. And down from the riverbank is a young boy, and he's watching this guy because this guy's a pro. This guy's well-renowned. Everybody goes, oh, there's Fred over there. He's a great fisherman. So the boy's watching him all day long. He's casting, he's catching some fish, but not much. And he's watching Fred, and he's catching these fish. And he looks at some of them, and some he throws back, and some he keeps. So the boy is completely perplexed, like, what is going on with this guy? Like, he caught some perfectly. I'd be happy to catch the fish that he's catching. So at the end of the day, he packs up his gear, and he goes over and he says, say, can I just ask you a question? I've been watching you. And as you fish, I'm watching you catch some fish, and some you throw back, and some you keep. What's the deal? He goes, oh, that's very easy. He goes, I measure them according to the size of my frying pan. And we laugh about that, but guess what? We do that in life, don't we? We have our frying pan of thoughts, and we measure everything. Oh, does this fit in my experience? They say that people that win or inherit $1 million or more, they're broke in less than 10 years. Why is it? Because they have a poverty consciousness. They haven't accepted, I am wealthy beyond my means. And because they don't, they absolutely create the same situation where it was in their comfort zone. So it's important to review where is my comfort zone and where do I need to stretch? Did you ever, lately I've been spring cleaning. Yesterday I spent a lot of time spring cleaning, and I thought, my gosh, how did I accumulate? I can't wait till we have a rummage sale. I got lots of stuff. But I also got rid of a lot of papers, a lot of stuff, stuff. Did you ever get rid of stuff? Did you ever clean out your closet and that feeling when you're finished? It's not so fun when you're doing it maybe, but when you're done, it's like, I feel lighter. I feel lighter. This stuff isn't heavying me down. It's not weighing me. And it's about releasing. So a lot of times in keeping the faith, What have we been faithful to? Are we faithful to our old thoughts? Are we faithful to an old pattern? Are we mad at somebody and we're going to hang on to something, so we're not going to show up for something because, gosh darn it, we're mad about it. They shouldn't have done it that way. Gosh darn them. Who's benefiting from that? Who's benefiting from that? You're stewing in the juices of negativity and justifying your anger at stuff. Pfft, who wants to do that? How about turning it into a positive? How about showing up anyhow and knowing that something good's going to come out of it, right? It's sometimes examining, where am I at in my life? What am I believing? Who am I associating with? What are the thoughts I'm associating in my head? Do you wake up and go, oh God, I got another packed day. I got to do a million things. Or do you go, yippee, I'm alive, I'm above ground, and everything's working out perfectly. You know, it's like my cat wakes up like that every morning. Sometimes way earlier than I want him to, but he's like, ta-da! I'm like, all right, buddy, come on, off the dresser, bud, off the dresser. He's boinging off the walls. It's like, imagine I have a pet like that. They reflect right back to us what we are. I go, okay, I'll calm my energy and I'll calm my energy down. This teaching is based in the belief that we have access to an intelligent power. Every single day, we have access to an intelligent power. And when we dial into that, some people go, I can't tell the difference between my thoughts or God thoughts. Doesn't matter. Does it matter? No. When you start the day in a positive frame of mind, guess what? Everything begins to work out. And if it doesn't, go back. I remember, and I think I just said this a couple weeks ago, I read it again the other day. Thich Nhat Hanh said, every day he meditates for about an hour, unless he's feeling crabby or upset, and then he meditates for 2. And I thought, yeah, because guess what? When things start going south, you want to go back and say, all right, take a deep breath and calm, and let's know, and say an affirmation. Say anything that conditions your mind not to give in to the circumstances that are in front of you, but believing that there's a greater good coming out of this. Because I believe good happens for every reason, and for a good reason as well. It's not what you want that you attract. You attract what you believe to be true. You attract what you believe to be true. And sometimes we believe things and we've held on to things that may not be so true. Maybe they worked for us years ago, but it's not the same thing anymore. It's like getting into clothes that don't fit you any longer, even though you love them. You know, sometimes I try to get my caboose into this one pair of jeans that I love, and every time I try them on, I go, Mary, they do not fit you. You look like a sausage in a casing, and it's not the right look. So I keep hanging on to them just to remind myself, and the rest of them I've let go. Because guess what? It's like trying to get into old clothes. Don't do it. You want to bring in the new. You want to bring in the new. The quality of our life is determined by the quality of our choices, isn't it? What we choose to be and think and act on every day is going to determine how our day goes. Now, that doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. I mean, because things do happen. This is life. This is Earth 101, okay? And things happen. But how we respond to the things that happen is the essential ingredient, right? How we look at what's going on in our life is what's going to be determining it. Each act of faith, a feeling beforehand that we think what we are doing and we are bringing into a positive result. We want to think into the thing that we desire. I loved Sandra's reading today, and I read the exact reading this week is about the seeds. So think about it. We don't plant carrot seeds and hope for peas, except think about your life for a second. We go, I did everything right. I went on that job interview. I said all the right things, and I didn't get hired. Well, guess what? You were planting carrots and then expecting peas. So when you are expecting carrots for the thing that you planted, you will get the result that you want. So when you don't get what you want or what you thought you were going to attain, go back to your thought and say, what was I really thinking? Was I sabotaging myself? Was I thinking negative things? Was I feeling like, you know what, maybe I want it, maybe I don't, whatever? Guess what? It will produce for you. Faith is a mental state so convinced of its idea that it accepts the outcome before it manifests. So when we focus our mind on how do you want your day to go? What do you want to think about? You know, a lot of times when you walk up to people and you say, what are your goals for this year? They're like, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I want to buy a car this year. I don't know. And think about it. We're steering our life every moment, every moment. And where we put our faith is going to determine what happens. So faith is a universal law, isn't it? It's a law that says for everything that I think out there, it produces a result. It talks about a power within because that faith is not just flying willy-nilly. It is grounded in a power that created you. It's grounded in that one power. And then how do we reaffirm it? How do we ignite with it? By affirmations. Because what do the affirmations do? The affirmations condition our thought, and then we get into that feeling like, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. I am joyous. I'm a joyous figure of God. There is one life, and that life is mine, and it's God's life right now. Boom! The moment we say those things, what happens? Our energy field changes. We are all energy. We're all energy. So remember that beautiful saying in the Bible, it's done unto you as you believe. So think about what is it you're believing? Are you believing things are going to work out? Or are you waiting for the other shoe to drop? Because a lot of times we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I tell you, our biggest test right now could be the news, right? All the things going on in the news. Or it could be someone calls you with an awful story of something terrible that happened, right? Guess what? We get to stay in our faith and say, you know what? Something good is coming out of this. Something positive is going to happen. Some awakening is occurring. It doesn't matter how it looks on the surface. Again, we go to our problem with God, not going to God with our problems. Because when we do that, what happens? We recant everything. We start to re-talk about it. We start to go it over. How many times have you heard an awful story and then you repeat it to somebody else? And then they repeat it to somebody. Now think about that wave that we've just created, that energy field going out there of negativity. Whereas if you could say, you know what, I know something good's coming out of this, even though I don't realize it. I listened to a podcast this week, and she said, change what you're saying to yourself and you'll change what you're seeing. Change what you're saying to yourself and you're going to change what you're seeing. How does that happen? When you change what you're saying, God is and I am. All good things are happening. Only good happens to me. I use this as an example. My dear friend Denise, her affirmation is, I live a charmed life. Everything works out in my favor. I thought, my God, that girl is like so successful. Everything she touches turns gold. Why? She believes in her mind. Everything works out for my good. I am a success. I live a charmed life. Everything happens for positive. Now someone could go, oh, you're Pollyanna, you're pretending. Go take a look at the real world. You got to pay attention to this stuff. Anybody know those people? The moment you tell them something, they go, there you go, with that pie in the sky thinking again, that positive fluff stuff, because that's not the real world. Nope, it's not their real world, but it's your real world. It can be your real world. And guess what? That's the thing that creates the good. Think of all the good that's happening in the world. I really believe they should have a news channel that's devoted only to good. And there are different, Google channels, Gaia, and a lot of different ones that you can dial into that really focus on the positive, good, happy stories. Anybody watch Reels on Facebook? I've been watching a reel about this farm in Scotland where they're raising sheep and goats and little baby cows and all that kind of stuff. And he works with all the ones, and some of them are born and they're not doing so well, and they're under a heat lamp and they have little sweaters and stuff like that. But you start to see these little things. He goes, I'm real positive about this guy. I think he's going to make it. I'm like, I love their attitude. But that energy of being in nature and being grounded in that centered life, that life effervescence. The law of good reacts to our faith and our belief. The law of good reacts to our faith and our belief. And what is it we're believing in? It's always important to check in. Where's my thought? What am I thinking about? Where's my energy? If we want to create a new reality, we have to have a new vision, don't we? We have to get rid of the old clothes. We have to get rid of the things that no longer serve us. There's a lot of things in my house. I'm kind of attached to them. And it's hard to let them go because, this was mom's, oh, this was my grandmother's, this was that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? It's not serving me. What am I going to schlep it along with me for the rest of my life? We got to figure those things out. Emerson said, all I have seen teaches me to trust the Creator for all I have not seen. So think about all the things that we see. Think about life abounding, especially now it's springtime. Everything's bursting with life, new buds happening everywhere. We have the cutest little daffodil up at the front by the sign. Anybody see that? There's a little daffodil. I watered him the other day. So the thing is our prayers are really what? They're affirmations. They're a declaration of the good that we are declaring. Because what is it when we're in prayer? We're not praying to something. We're praying with something. And that something is that God power, that oneness in us saying, this is what I'm declaring for my life. And the universe always conspires to bring about our good. So it says, is that your truth? I believe you, and so it is. And things will happen as long as we don't mess them up. Sometimes we want to go in with our human self and here, thank you, God, for the help. I'm going to do it myself now. Anybody a do-it-yourselfer like me? Sometimes you want to go in and I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make this all better. And then you kind of totally mess it up and you go, okay, I got to go back to the drawing board. The process is our thoughts initialize the state of mind, right? Our thoughts start it. Then our belief acts as the filter directing your brain. It's again that red car syndrome. When you have a red car, all you see is a red car. So guess what? When you have a belief about something, everything in the universe conspires to associate with that belief. And that can be positive or it can be negative. Ever notice that? You go, see, I told you. See how he behaves? I knew it was going to be like that. Guess what? Where's your belief? Where's your belief? Because what you put your faith in is going to create an experience for you, and that's all you're going to see. I always tell that story about the two boys that go in and the mom and dad go, okay, what do you see here? And it's a big pile of manure. And the one boy goes, boy, I wanted a pony and all I got was a big pile of poop. And the other boy goes, with all this manure in this room, there's gotta be a pony in there somewhere. So feel the difference. You wanna see that from that vantage point of say, you know what? It may look icky right now. It may not look so great. Something good is coming out of this, and that's where my faith is, and that's where I'm staying, and that's where I'm putting my energy. Because guess what? It only starts with us as an individual. What is this world made up of? Individuals. Individuals. So the more we spend our life and thoughts in an uplifted, positive, knowing mind, the more we create it in the world out there. We are creating right here in this community, right here. We are creating the world. This is a microcosm of the macrocosm, right here. And believe me, we know there's some people arm wrestling negative stuff right now in this community. And guess what? You either get to stick with it or you get to release it. And that's up to you. And then how you do it, how you deal with it will determine what the outcome is. Your internal world directly impacts the external life. Your actions follow your beliefs. True? Yeah. Your actions follow your beliefs. So how are we going to do it? We have to observe, what are we saying to ourselves? What's the dialogue that we have in our head all the time? What are the things that we're making up? Faith is the expectancy, but it's also a consent, isn't it? Isn't it saying, I'm making this declaration, and now I'm ready to receive? Our prayer, it's in here somewhere, I wrote it this morning. Our prayer is not so much about asking for something, but having the ability to receive. Some of us are very good at helping other people, probably everybody in this room, because we're all volunteers. But if the chance to receive our good, a little bit more of a challenge, isn't it? Because we're so used to giving. Receiving is a whole different element, isn't it? So in prayer, we not only make that declaration, but we have to be willing to receive it into our consciousness, to say, I accept. How about that? I accept my good. I accept your good. I know it's all truth. It's truth. Faith changes the way we relate to reality, doesn't it? When we are seeing through the patina of our own positive belief, what does that do? It creates that vision for us. Anybody ever have anything good happen to them? Yay! See the laughter. Guess what? When you have good, go back and look at it and go, how did that happen? Where was my thought process that day? Anybody have any bad stuff happen to them? Ask yourself, where was my thought process? What was going on? Where was my energy field? Who did I just talk to? What stuff was I carrying in my backpack, known as my stuff, right? What was I carrying with me? This teaching reminds us when we have the consciousness that brings us into the harmony with the power of God, all things are possible. Not because of us, but because that God power within us says, I am waiting for you to acknowledge me, to know it's the truth, and together we create this experience. I have more talk for next week, but I wanted to end with this. I found this beautiful little meditation prayer of Ernest Holmes, and I'm going to share that with you. I know that there's a power for good which responds to me and brings into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. I know that there is a power for good that enables me to help others and to bless the entire world. So I say quietly to myself, there is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life right now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me. I am one in its rhythm. My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe, in serenity, in peace, and in joy. My whole physical being is animated by the divine spirit, and if there is anything in that that does not belong, it is cast out, because there is one perfect life in me now. And I say to myself, I am daily guided so that I shall know what to do in every circumstance, in every situation. Divine intelligence guides me in love, and in joy, and in complete self-expression. Desiring that law of good alone will control me and my outcomes. I accept and expect happiness and complete success in all that I do. Realizing that I'm one with all people, I affirm that there is a silent power that's flowing through me and them, which blesses and heals and prospers and makes happy and glad all pathways. And realizing that the world is made up of people like myself, I bless the world and I affirm that it shall come under the divine government of good, under the divine providence of love, and under the divine leadership of the supreme intelligence. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. That's going to be in the April newsletter, just so you know, because I love that. It's so beautiful. There will no longer be recipes in the newsletter. I'm just letting you know, in case you're going to be disappointed. I don't know why I got into that, but I couldn't stop. Now I've stopped. Okay. So with that, please affirm with me, there is one life.
There's one life.
That life is God's life.
That life is God's life.
That life is my life.
That life is mine.
Right here,
Right here.
right now.
Right now.
All that I desire
All that I desire
comes to me
comes to me
with grace and ease.
with grace and ease.
I let God be God by means of me. Now look at your neighbor. I let God be God by means of you. I have faith in it. I believe in this power. I trust in it. I feel it. I know it. And so it is. And so it is. All right. Thank you very much. And now we have our guest artist, Michelle, again.
Well, I suggest that you just be as happy as you can be, because it's a happy song.
Thank you, Michelle. We see the light. All righty. This is the time of our offertory, our sharing of our treasure, and our affirmation is on the program. And let's read that together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. Evidence of my conviction that God is the source and the substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And we're going to sing, I Am So Blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. And so this is what we know, that this truth, this power, this light that we identify as spirit is the very one that we are one with. And as we know the growth of this community, the power of this word of truth goes out and attracting all those who believe and know, and we are building a community based on love, on oneness, on joy, on happiness, and on truth in the one power, the one presence we know as God. And so it is. And now we are going to have our closing song, which is Ready and Able.
Hello, happy.
Hi, honey.
Let there be
Peace on earth, now it has begun with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, so this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, now it has begun with me. All righty. We have prayer circle up at the front.
Prayer circle at the front.
Hey,
Good job.
thank you. I'm gonna go turn that off. Hello again.
Hey, you.
And you're cute. Oh, I forgot mine. I've got one too. I forgot to wear it. Well, I got my little angel girl on, so.
I got a little Irish in me.